Okay, we're gonna try this, dude. We're gonna look at Busyworks Beats responding to the update of FL Studio 25. This could be interesting here. So there's two videos. I know the second one's really good. I don't know about the first one yet. All right, let's go. FL Studio 25 beta is super underwhelming. And it says, why release this by Busyworks Beats? Let's go.
Listen, guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but as a trusted person in your life, as far as giving you information.
Listen. You're not a trusted person in my life, all right, Busy? Let me look at the like ratio on this real quick. Ooh, yeah, it's not great. Not amazing here.
About FL Studio music theory, music production. I have to be honest with you guys. The new FL Studio 2025 beta.
Bro, I'm kind of salty about that. What do you mean he has Gengar in the back? What do you mean? What do you, I gotta take this off though. Guys, sorry, I need to take, this thing needs to go. It needs to go now. Can I get it off? Can I get it off? What? There's no, how long has that been there? Guys, how long has that been there? Hold on a second. I can't get this thing off. All right, I'm gonna have to throw the whole phone away.
It's super underwhelming. I don't understand how anybody on YouTube is hyping this up. It's not anything to talk about. In fact, it was so menial. I just was like, I'm not even making a video about this. I saw it probably like, what, a week ago or so. And I was like, why even make a video when it's not, there's literally almost nothing added to FL Studio 2025 beta.
To be fair, they do add stuff throughout the year. And also, I made a video about it because, well, it was just part of like a video, but I just talk about new shit that's out there.
Say beta, because I don't know what the final release
been there for a grip, but God.
But I just feel like this could, here's my thoughts before I get into it. And I hate to be the negative Nancy in the room, is just for companies to do this yearly thing. It's almost like NBA 2K. Like, at least give us new players, new teams, new something. Don't just repeat the same thing and edit the jerseys and be like, okay, it's NBA 2K22.
I mean, I feel like they did a little more than he said, though.
NBA 2K23 will have now sweat on the players. It's like, that's small. That change doesn't justify calling it NBA 2K 2023. Okay, so I just think FL...
You two are more alike than you care to admit. Don't you dare say that. Don't you dare say that.
Went into the EA lane with this kind of yearly name thing, and that's a dangerous place to go because now people expect yearly updates that are significant. And two, if they release something that's minor and they call it the new name, people are going to have this high expectation and get low results. And to me, that's a little bit dangerous. So with all that being said, I'll go over the things that are new in FL Studio 2025.
Okay, I don't know if he's going to have much else other than this. Okay, we're going to go on to the second video now. This one I think is this one's a little more spicy.
You guys know I'm not the guy for drama, but
yeah, it is free. It is free. Okay, wait, first of all, whoa.
I have
wait.
You guys know I'm not the guy for drama.
All right. Just want to make sure my ears didn't deceive me there.
From people like Weaverbeats who don't do any research and talk crap about companies without any research.
What drama, dude? What do you mean? What drama? What was that? Let's hear that again.
You guys know I'm not the guy for drama, but
this guy would never drama.
Is Weaver's Google AdSense. So you're telling me, Weaver, you can look in the mirror every 21st of the month and you look at that Google check from AdSense and you say, yes, I did it again. I got paid for destroying black communities. I got paid for destroying the producer community. I got paid for making the wife look at the husband differently.
Hell
I got paid for separating the father and the son.
Yes.
Oh, I got paid for talking crap and accusing people of crimes they didn't do. I got paid for spreading lies and misinformation I didn't research. How do you look at yourself in the mirror and take the money and with a smile?
I just do, dude. I don't know. I just... Okay, sorry. This is fucking me up, dude. This is fucking no way, dude. There's no way, dude. He made a fucking 35-minute video about me before, dude. That's crazy.
I have to be honest.
Like, imagine if I said that, dude. I need to start saying that, dude. I'm gonna be like, guys, you know I'm not one for drama.
Cannot believe nobody is telling the truth about FL Studio 25. If you guys have seen the recent content pieces out there about FL Studio 25, the beta, it's this and that, and it's going to have so many tracks and this and that. I'm looking at it like nothing about this is exciting. And I can guarantee, and this is no shade to the developers, because I know they put their blood, sweat, and tears into this. This is all my opinion from my personal...
You need to clip this. This whole thing is being clipped. It's going to be thrown on the second channel.
...experience with FL Studio. I think FL Studio has a leadership problem. They don't know where they're going. They have a leadership problem, and it's so evident because if we read the list of updates for FL Studio 25 and we say, what about this? Like, imagine going from GTA 5 to GTA 6.
Okay, one thing that's funny, God, I do kind of feel bad for going on busy all the time, but this just looks so fucking interesting. I had to. We had to check out this video. But he always talks about Grand Theft Auto, dude. I don't know what it is, bro. This guy fucking loves Grand Theft Auto.
and then going, oh, all we did was we fixed the part where they ride around in those things that blows everybody up, the little cruiser things that could fly in the sky. We took those out of the game, and we just...
This is why you got to script your videos, man. This, what do you, what?
Made a couple cars, and that's GTA 6. And you're like, really? That's GTA 6? You're calling it GTA?
That's not even a good, like, comparison, though, because, like, FL Studios updates come out, you know, they're coming out every year, and they're, like, updating the beta throughout the year, you know?
GTA 6. And all you did was fix a couple things.
And then, like, how long has it been since GTA 5? Like 15 years, 10 years or something?
It's like, that's not worthy of calling it GTA 6. And the same thing here. If you go to the website, I'm going to show you guys the website.
Okay.
Here are the updates. Okay, now tell me in the comments. Now, I'm not trying to, you know, create chaos.
I mean, they're fixing a lot of stuff, though. These are a lot of bugs that they fixed here. And then they're also adding, like, new stuff like dynamic mixer tracks. They added some new plugins, like
studio community. As the person who's trained over 1 million producers around the world, and we have over 300,000 students on our platform alone. Okay, on our new platform. This is our newer platform, and you know, some of those students have gone to work with Drake, Kanye.
Wait, what platform? What is he talking about?
Post Malone, Ariana Grande, French Montana, Young Thug, Polo G, Trippie Redd, Lil Baby, Young Thug, French Montana. I already said that. Ray Shrimmer.
Dude, he's got to be memeing, right? He has to be memeing. I already said that. He does, like, every time.
Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Glorilla, a long list of artists, okay? Now, as a person who's seen that much and I've trained so many people, FL Studio hasn't even fixed basic things. Like, for example, as a beginner, when I'm teaching people, go into the playlist.
How do you get his name taken off the power user for FL thing? I think either this video or the video before it. I think it might have been the video before it or something. I don't know. Or just some of the stuff he's been saying, I guess. I don't know. I did that. You kind of, spoiler alert, dude, spoiler alert.
The piano roll. Here's one thing they never fixed yet. I have no understanding why. So by default, video looks like this in the piano roll, which is super confusing for a beginner because we do not produce music sideways in real life. So not having the keys labeled just messes us up big.
That, bro, does anyone agree with this? Does anybody agree with this? Does anybody here agree with this?
Time. You have to,
like, bro, it has C here. It has C right there.
Put a note in to even
you need the keys labeled
and understand where you are.
And then when you fucking,
that's going to be impossible for beginners to know what the heck's going on. That alone should be fixed. All they have to do is switch a setting. You know,
well, then it's fixed. It's fixed, dude.
Default setting. Also, too, like they didn't fix delay compensation. So, for example, here's a drum break.
Yeah, Ableton needs to fix this too. I agree.
And if you guys zoom in, just to prove it, there is no gap in the beginning of the drum break. Now, if you run this drum break through something like the Universal Audio Alicia Impressor, for example, or any kind of UA plugin, it will create a lag, a latency, even when you have plugin delay compensation on. And if you guys don't believe me, I'll do it right here. Now, we'll take some time.
Well, no, I agree with this one, though. I mean, I don't use FL, but Ableton has this problem, too.
So I have to pause the video, but I'm going to consolidate from
No, I actually agree with this one.
Start.
The key labeling thing was insane, though.
I even have the trim PDC silence, which is the silence in the beginning of a sample. All right, so it rendered to audio, and now you guys can see it created this big old silence in the beginning of the audio, which messes up loop makers. It messes up people trying to create multi-tracks for their session.
I don't disagree with this one, actually.
It messes up a lot of stuff. It's not a small thing, and the fact that that gets overlooked, like a simple thing, like it was fixed for FL Studio 21, I want to say, and then something happened to where it wasn't fixed. So it not only messes up the beginning of your sample.
It works for you. I think it may only be for certain plugins. I don't know exactly.
It messes up the end part of your sample because now you're missing information at the end of the sample. Like, I think FL Studio needs to fix the problems with recording, for example. Like, I have to go to the mixer. I have to click here. I have to insert my microphone. I have to hit record. I have to hit record up here again. Make sure it has audio. I hit record. Now I'm recording stuff, okay? And the audio, when you have a lot of tracks, it could be way down here somewhere. And then you record another track, it could be way up here. And it's so unorganized. I know there are ways to switch the modes, but like when I'm in Logic and I record audio, it's on one track and I can visually see.
He's about to become a Logic teacher.
If I'm in Ableton and I have a vocal track, here's the audio track. I'm not getting lost in FL Studio. But FL Studio is good because you can move stuff around, but at the same time, they need to work on fundamentals of music production, like,
you know, I don't disagree with that a little bit. I mean,
workflow. Okay.
The keys thing was crazy, though. This recording thing is so dumb. Is it? I don't know. I don't use FL Studio. I've used it probably 5 to 10 times in my entire life.
Like, here are the updates. I do
agree that it is overly complicated.
I want you guys to be honest, and I'm saying this not as a critique to other content creators. I'm not trying to hurt their feelings. I'm making this video because I cannot believe people are hyping up FL Studio 25. And it bothers me because I feel like I have...
Well, that's the thing, bro. You gotta be hyperbolic. You gotta either be things are great or they're fucking shit. That's the only thing that works anymore on YouTube. It's either amazing or it's fucking awful. If you just say, oh, this new thing is okay, who the fuck's gonna click on that? Why would anybody click on something that just is okay?
A responsibility to you guys as an audience, and as somebody who's sold millions and millions of people to their website, millions and millions. Like I have the actual YouTube data to prove that we've sent millions and millions of people to their website. And for FL Studio to claim the world's best DAW. Come on.
Do they claim that?
The world's best DAW, and they don't innovate? Come on. So whenever you're confused about...
Well, they do innovate a little bit. I mean, I'm pretty sure they were the first DAW to do stem splitting. That's sort of an innovation.
What I have to say, like look at Logic Pro and the quality of sound, the quality of plugins, and then you guys be like, wow, yeah, what the freak is FL doing? Before I get into these notes, here are just my thoughts, because I've been doing this for a long time. We train over 1 million producers, and they work with the top artists in the world.
Oh, this fucking guy, dude. This fucking guy.
And teaching beginners. And some of the things I see, for example, is like people trying to go from FL Studio Mobile over to FL Studio. It's like, why is there FL Studio Mobile when it's a completely different product than FL Studio? Nothing about FL Studio Mobile really translates to FL Studio as far as like workflow, common.
Okay, I'm skipping this.
Actual desktop. And there's really no correlation between FL Studio and FL Studio Desktop. So as a person who has his own software development, I understand that perspective.
Bro's just salty about being taken off the power user list. I think so, dude. I think so.
And again, I'm not talking about the software developers on the team. I'm talking about the leadership of FL Studio. They need new leadership or something, because we're not getting the innovation that we deserve as customers. And I'm not here to create a critique feedback loop where everybody's in the comments is being hateful. That's not the point. The point is, let's go to the website, because we have to go point by point, actually, to show you guys what I'm talking about. One of their first mistakes, in my opinion, is going by a yearly...
It's taking me off the user power list.
Nomenclature model. So, for example, they're going to call it FL Studio 2025, and next year they're going to call it FL Studio 2026. But people colloquially on the street are going to call it FL25, FL26. And if we're trying to get new users on a platform and take people from FL11 to FL26 to even buy the new plugins that they want us to buy, we have to have a reason for people to jump from FL11 to FL26. And these updates are so menial, that I cannot justify to anybody, like, you guys should hop on FL Studio 25. Like, this is crazy coming from a person who encourages people to update.
Well, I mean,
to the next thing.
It's not like you have to pay for it, though. If you had to pay for it, I feel like that would make more sense. It's like, well, you don't update. You don't, because you'd have to pay.
And the next thing, it's just quality of life updates. And I just don't understand how they feel like they could justify calling it FL Studio 25. Because again, even though it's called 2025, the street is going to call it FL 25. That's just how we do. So let's read this, update by update. And again, I've watched so many videos trying to pump FL 25. They're like, we got an extra mixer button. We can add more mixer tracks. Who in the world has 500 mixer tracks? Firstly, like, you're not recording a orchestra.
Oh, you ain't a real mixer then, bro.
Studio. So who needs that many tracks anyway?
That is true. I mean, if I'm being serious here, like 500 is kind of a lot. That is.
But let's just start from the list here. So first up, okay, I'm just going to read these in order, and I want you guys in the comments to truly tell me what about these updates says, okay, now I'm updating. These updates honestly sound like if Rockstar Games said, hey guys, here's GTA.
Every time, dude, every time with the GTA shit. It never stops. It never stops with the GTA.
5, one of the greatest games on the planet. And we're going to release GTA 6 in a year. The only difference that we're going to introduce is we're going to take out those little flying cars that could fly across the map.
Wait. He said that in the other video, didn't he?
And we're going to add, a couple cars to the map and call it GTA 6. That's it, guys. That's GTA 6. Everybody would revolt because they're like, what? Why?
Well, I mean, if it was free and it was like 1 year later, I don't know if people would really fucking care that much, but.
Calling it GTA 6, that's a GTA 5 patch update. Okay, so let's look at what's new. All right, so I think, and before I give my, critique about each one of these things, I want to say that I think FL Studio tends to focus.
Yeah, it's not really a good analogy at all.
Focus a lot on the EDM scene, but truly ask yourself, how many EDM people are making EDM in FL Studio? Like, really?
I know some. I know Caption does. I don't know who else really. Wait, does Virtual Riot use FL? I don't know, dude. I don't really watch a lot of YouTube lately.
Ask yourself, what YouTubers are making EDM in FL Studio? And if they are...
Oh, he's not a YouTuber. He's a producer that does YouTube.
Ask the question, why aren't they using Ableton like everybody else? Like, EDM DJs mostly use Ableton because they have devices. They have way better audio manipulation.
Well, the reason why people... Okay, wait, hold on. The reason why people use Ableton as electronic music producers is because you can also, like, do this cool, like, DJing thing with it where you, like, play clips and mix clips together, That's why I was originally using Ableton.
Manipulation tools. They have... the clip mode where they could launch clips from a pad if they wanted to create their own like unique set.
Yeah.
And there's a billion reasons why a DJ or an EDM.
I think that's the main reason, honestly. That attracted me to it like 10 plus years ago. And then I hadn't really switched.
Performer would use Ableton Live over FL Studio. And I feel like whoever's in their forum is like a bunch of EDM producers, but the EDM producers are not the ones.
Well, yeah, they're the fucking nerds. What do you mean? Yeah, that makes sense.
Who have to suffer from these workflow updates. Like this has nothing to do with people who make the actual movements in your actual company. Like all the people, I'm going to show you guys once we get to it, but look at their power list. Okay.
Oh my God, bro.
Mirror. Let's start here.
Wait. This is the part.
Mirror is not even on their FL Studio power list. If I look up BusyWorks Beats, it's definitely not on there. A person who's literally trained 1 million people.
Bro, I wonder if anybody stored it. I wonder if we could check on the Wayback Machine and see like when he got taken off.
On their software. BusyWorks Beats, nowhere to be.
He was on there before, wasn't he?
Found, even though I was there before, which is complete crazy that you would disrespect somebody who lifted up your company. And
oh my God, bro. Oh, dude, this is brutal.
Millions. Then on top of that,
wait, I gotta get that again, dude. Sorry.
If I look up BusyWorks Beats, it's definitely not on there. A person who's literally trained 1 million people on their software. BusyWorks Beats, nowhere to be found, even though I was there before, which is
a person who's literally trained 1 million people.
Crazy that you would disrespect somebody who lifted up your company in the millions. Then on top of that, who else? Nick Mira. I know I'm missing somebody. For example, they don't even have J Cactus on their power user list, but they used him for their FL Cloud because they couldn't figure out how to be Splice. But they used his name and his likeness to try to get users over to Cloud. And I'm curious how all those,
has it? I mean, maybe they just don't really update this very much. Like I feel like they just don't really give a shit. And like I bet you one person on their site was probably like, dude, this is gonna piss them off so much. Delete.
Producers that they try to leverage the name off of. How many people are actually signing up for FL Cloud? Like FL Studio has a leadership problem. And don't even get me started on the power users who...
Bro, these people are all like legit artists. Like these are not like YouTube people.
Don't even use FL Studio, who use Ableton. They don't even use FL. Like they are here clearly for a PR stunt, okay? So don't even get me started on that list. But let's go through the FL Studio 25.
Yeah, I think he is butthurt, dude.
24, and people haven't even updated.
I need to know when he got taken off that list. Because I feel like there's a strong correlation between that and this video and that last video.
It to 24 yet, based on the cool 24 updates. So this is FL Studio 25. And again, I want you guys to be 1000% honest. How many of these updates do you think is worth switching? I'm just going to read them, and I want you to say it in the comments. I'll give my little opinions, but I want you guys to be 1000%.
Which beta is this? This is beta 5?
With me, and say, would you update from FL Studio 24 or whichever version you're on?
Don't even get him started. Yeah, I mean, he got started already. This is a 30-minute video.
Studio 25 for this one thing. Okay, so let's hop into the updates here. It says general settings.
He was never on the list. I'm pretty sure he was. But I might be wrong. I'm almost positive he was.
Added a read sample root note to be deselected to correct pitch issues when root note metadata is incorrect. Similar purpose to the read sample tempo information option.
No one switches to a beta. I kind of do sometimes if there's like some good shit in it. I don't know. I mean, at least if it has like a good like crash redemption, like something to catch for crashes, then like I don't really care that much,
Like this should have been fixed years ago. Basically, I think what this is, and I could be wrong, if you guys had like samples from an old Akai MPC or like an old sample library, it might be labeled with the metadata saying that the root note is C1 because that's how they would trigger it on their actual keyboards. They would use MIDI to trigger samples. But in FL Studio, when you loaded it up, if it was a snare, for example, it would sound like super high pitched because it says that the root note is way lower. So when you're playing at middle C, it thinks you're playing at C8, for example, on the sample. And it just created this weird distorted expectation of the user. They're like,
all right, skipping ahead a bit.
It doesn't know which one to pull from and it gets confused. And so they're saying that they basically just added a feature to where it adds a distinction between those two files. Would you guys update the FL? Would you update the FL Studio 25 for that? All right, Let's see what else it has. FL Studio Remote added support for FL Studio Remote version 2. People don't even know what this is. Basically, you can record yourself from far away. So if you don't have an engineer and you have to record yourself like I do, instead of just hitting record and run into your booth, record, come back, which is pretty straightforward. But if your booth is further away for some reason, or you want to be secluded in your booth,
all the way. It's across the house. I don't know what I was thinking, dude. I ran like a 600-foot cord. It's all the way across the house. I don't know what I was thinking, man.
Now it's bare bones. I'm curious to see what FL Studio Remote 2 is, but if it's nothing like Logic's where you can like loop record, you could basically, like Logic's version of it, then it's like, what are we doing? Also too, this is a side note. Again, you guys gotta realize I'm an educator for people who use FL Studio. And what I've noticed is the company's focusing on FL Studio Mobile. Have you guys used FL Studio Mobile anytime in your life as an FL Studio desktop user? Because
No. I'm not a desktop user, but I have tried it before.
Tell you that I used it on my iPad for my son just to play around with. I think you have to buy it. It's not even free for one. BandLab is free.
Why would it be fucking free? Why would it be free? Maybe like free for people that own FL Studio already, but why would it be free? It's probably like the most complicated mobile DAW there is. I'm pretty sure it is.
You have to buy Beatmaker 3, you have to buy.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it, but I've seen people make crazy shit on it.
Studio Mobile, and you have to buy something else. I'm pretty sure there's no free option, or maybe there's a free trial. I don't know. That's not even the point. The point I want to make here is that when you're on FL Studio Mobile, it looks nothing like FL Studio. Like, it works nothing like FL Studio. So my thing is, like, they're building a whole different product called FL Studio Mobile.
It kind of does. I mean, I don't know. Have you guys used it? I feel like it kind of does. It's not the exact same, but it's pretty fucking close for a mobile app.
It's like, what are we going to do with the people who get decent at FL Studio Mobile? It's like they're trying to copy Apple, who had GarageBand, which is like a miniature version of Logic Pro. And they would put GarageBand on your computer for free. They would put it on your MacBook, or they would put it on your iPad or on your phone.
Okay.
The goal of GarageBand was to just have simple loops, simple ideas,
Yeah, they're
nothing
doing something
complex,
different.
and then upgrade people to Logic Pro. That was the whole goal, so that they buy a bigger MacBook. Again, this is why I said FL Studio has a leadership problem, because what is the point of developing an FL Studio Mobile community?
What do you
when it's
mean?
nothing like...
It's just, bro, it's so people can make beats on their phone. That's the point. It's so people can make beats on their phone. That it's a good idea. I mean, it's like more complicated than GarageBand. Like, you can do a lot more, I'm pretty sure.
FL Studio Desktop. It is completely different, to the point where, again, I'm a person who teaches this day in and day out. And I can tell you, when people come to me about FL Studio Mobile questions, I'm like, I don't know. It's a whole different program. Acts nothing like FL Studio. I'm sure you can transport projects and import them. That's cool. You know, it's kind of like the same argument where people are like, this is just the beta of FL Studio 25. It's just a beta. That does not, like, I would not market my product as like, yo guys, here's the next iteration of Hercules 2. It's going to have a different filter.
Oh my God, dude, Hercules.
And we're going to give it a new UI.
Hermes.
And that's it. Hercules 2. It's like, come on. Okay, so next up. All right, next up it says history, deleting mixer and playlist tracks can now be undone. That could have been a patch update, a small patch update. News panel.
That's what this is. That is what this is.
Weird distorted expectation of the user. They're like, why does this not sound like a snare? And we're going to give it a new UI. And that's it. Hercules 2. It's like, come on.
Okay, we're back where we were.
All right, next up it says history, deleting mixer and playlist tracks can now be undone. That could have been a patch update, a small patch update.
That's what this is.
News panel. Add in an animation.
This is like small fixes included with like some bigger things.
Toolbar button when a new notification appears, and you could right click to refresh option. I don't think anybody even knows about the news panel. Gopher. Don't even get me started with Gopher. This is like their version of like ChatGPT inside of FL Studio. I'm not hating AI. Then. This is a horrendous way to incorporate AI into FL Studio. I'm not even apologizing for that take. So it says Gopher. Let's open up Gopher. Let's see what Gopher's about. And I sound like I'm trashing the company, but you guys got to listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying that as a person who literally built the foundation for beginners to start around the software, and then they're basically creating it to now when FL Studio 26 comes out, and I make videos about the company. Now I'm looked at as like a person who's overinflating, information and overinflating things because the company at the root is overinflating stuff. So here it says Gopher. Who named it, first of all? A large language model trained exclusively on this manual and our knowledge base. Why would anybody need this? Actually, I know a couple things people might need it for, but come on. A great source of...
Wait, so what does it do? So you can ask information about FL Studio? I don't see a problem with that.
Information about using FL Studio.
Yeah, it took his gerb. Yeah, exactly.
Everything related to it. Then it says Gopher.
Bro, exact. That's kind of what I was thinking too, Mac. Yeah.
So named because it goes for information.
But they should have named it Busy or Bussy.
And the name plays on that idea, Gopher. Who pitched the idea? I just want to know. Somebody's like, you know what? I got an idea. No diss to the developers if this was your idea, but come on, like, bro. I want to create a chat GPT that looks at our knowledge base, our manual. So when people say how to make a spins 808, it's not going to know the answer. And we're going to call it Go for Information. Go for AI. Bruh. Go for, come on. A common term for people who fetch things in an organization. It says, note, as with any AI model, Gopher can give you incorrect answers. What is the point? Oh my goodness.
What do you mean? That's the truth with every AI though. Like, go look up who I am on fucking ChatGPT. I'm pretty sure it's not correct. It says I have like placements with like internet money or something like that.
Reading this is making it worse. I'm so sorry. So reading this is making it worse. Oh my goodness. As with any AI model, Gopher can give you incorrect answers. So what's the point of training it on your knowledge base if it can answer questions outside of your knowledge base? Why wouldn't you have an LLM that only responds to things that trigger things in the knowledge base and pull from that section of the knowledge base, and it doesn't just hallucinate random chatter? Like, why would you even incorporate a system like that to where it can generate stuff that isn't from the knowledge base? Even I know this, and I'm not a developer. And so make sure to thumbs down these and let us know what went wrong. Like, I'm okay with hallucinations in AI. That's not my point. It's like, if the whole point of this is to be built around documents, and then I'm teaching the AI to be creative, even though it's a written training set, like, what are we doing? I don't know why that bothered me so much. Just reading about Gopher made me not like.
I feel like this is all just like a projection because of him getting removed from the power list.
Even more. Oh my God, I cannot believe that is the story behind it. Communications panel added an option to keep the panel open to make it easier to use the manual. I don't even know what that is and where it is. Mastering. The mastering window can now update previews in real time based on parameter changes. I don't know anybody who uses FL mastering, being honest with you. Mixer, dynamic mixer tracks. Add and delete mixer tracks as needed. The maximum number of insert tracks has increased to 500, up from 125. Again, if I'm not recording an orchestra, what do I need 150 tracks for? We're not recording Dua Lipa. We're not recording Usher. We're not recording Justin Timberlake in FL Studio. So what do we need 150 tracks for? Like,
that'd be crazy to record like something like that at FL Studio.
Even still, 500 tracks for what? We're not recording orchestras. And if we were, we're going to use Pro Tools HD rigs. We're not going to use FL Studio for this. This is why I just think there's a leadership problem with FL Studio. It's like they're listening to people who probably complain a lot in the forums, but these are not people who spend the most money or people who move the culture the most to even get people to spend money on this culture. And it's like FL Studio's listening to, because think about it, who's in the forums? It's mostly EDM guys and like DMB, which I respect any genre. That's not I'm not trying to target a genre. When the workflow of FL and the people on this power list, let's go to the power list real quick. All right, here's the power list. So Martin Garrix.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have used more than 100 tracks before, like especially like mixing like a pop song or something. 500 is kind of crazy though. I don't know about 500.
Shout out to Weaverbeats using FL. So hip hop producers using FL. So please tell me what hip hop producer needs 500 channels, and which hip hop producer needs like all these little small EDM fixes. Afrojack EDM. Shout out to Afrojack. Boy One to hip hop made some of the craziest hit songs. Shout
out to Afrojack, except he makes EDM. Shout out to his family.
Era. Hip hop, not EDM. Porter Robinson. Shout out to him. Mustard, who made They Not Like Us. Hip hop. I don't know if he used FL to make it, but hip hop. Marion, EDM. Tay Keith, hip hop. And I don't even know if these guys use Ableton.
What is your obsession with Busyworks Beats? Don't you make music? Bro, when was the last time we even streamed or did a video about him? He's crashing out on FL Studio and it must be covered. It must be covered. Are we not going to cover this?
I don't follow them that closely, but I, venture to assume they also use Ableton, especially for EDM, because certain things in Ableton that just are better for that genre. Kind
of running out of shit here, though. Who the fuck is Cheese? Who's Cheese?
So even here, hip hop, it's Perps. Shout out to Perps.
I've never heard of Cheese.
From 808 Mafia. Ninth Wonder, hip hop. I don't know this guy Alex, but shout out to him. Hip hop. Cheese, I don't know who that is, but shout out to him. Hip hop. So if the majority of users who made FL Studio popular are from hip hop, why is the workflow catering to people who aren't in hip hop?
When's the last time Weaverbeats made a beat? I think like a couple days ago.
Like, how does that make any logical sense? Like, you want to cater to the base that actually made you grow, not the people who came 10 years down the line. Things like this just get under my skin. Okay, it says insert mixer.
He's losing me. Let's get to the end here.
These are fixes that should just happen regardless. And I'm surprised nobody's talking about it. Nobody's being honest. Whenever they release similar to Ableton, I'm willing to pay for updates if FL Studio actually focuses on fixing stuff and not all this extra BS stuff. I'm sure half the updates are going to come from FL Cloud, but
that's crazy, bro. You'd rather pay for updates that's every few years and there's more shit in it instead of just getting free updates constantly, which there's probably it's going to be the same thing anyways.
You guys got to realize
it's just like, I want to spend money.
It's not FL Studio. FL Cloud is a separate thing. FL Studio Mobile is not FL Studio. It is a separate thing. So when they call FL Studio 25, even if they introduce some major cloud integration, it's like, I don't have FL Cloud. So that doesn't apply to me. Therefore, it's not FL Studio got an update. It's FL Cloud got an update. I can go on and on and on and on. But I'm going to end it here because I don't want this to sound like a rant. I want it to be...
Well, mission failed, for sure.
Wake up call for the community to be really questioning who do you trust? Because I really, truly, honestly cannot believe anybody's pumping this up. All right. So share with a friend. Let's get some conversation going in the comments. I know there's people like FL Studio is the greatest ever. That's not my point though. Because I'm still on FL Studio, but we got to be honest. All right, y'all. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh my God. I already popped in here. I'm not one for drama. It's crazy. I popped in there. Somebody sent this to me. That's why. Okay. All right. We had our fun there.